global network for human rights has vowed to drag investigators of violence that led to the killing of policemen and destruction of properties during the #EndSARS protest to the International Criminal Court. The group, at a press conference on Friday in Abuja, said these individuals must be brought to justice for their roles in inciting massive terror on the streets.
We would like to start by clearing the air about a misconception that is making the round in terms of situating the cause of the violent protests across the country. There is a tendency to tie the start of the protest to the agitation against police brutality and abuse of human rights, particularly by the defunct Special Anti-Robbery Squad, SARS, which has now been christened EndSARS. The reality, however, is that the singular incidents that provoked the protest could be described as a mere trigger for something that grew over a period of time. Before the protest ever started, there has been a systematic campaign of incitement by a well-heeled circuit who exploited the socio-economic challenges of the country to prime the population for mob action. They pick on the day-to-day challenges that are not peculiar to Nigeria as means of goading the population to rebel against the government. We will name a few of these people, those that we consider as the arrowhead of the well-oiled propaganda machine that poisoned the minds of Nigerians to attempt destroying their own country. We believe these are the people to be held responsible by virtue of their leadership position and the insightful content of the messages they have put out on their social media account, media interviews, statements, and utterances. On the list are Chief Femi Falana, Senior Advocate of Nigeria; Falz, Falana, one of the renowned musicians in the country; Nnamdi Kanu, the leader of indigenous people of Biafra, IPOB; Obianuju, Catherine Ude, DJ Switch, Aisha Yusufu, Renu Omokri, Deji Adeyanju, Dino Milaye, David Oyedepo, Bruna Boy, Paul Okoye, Hayo Makun, among others. It is on record that all the above-named persons contributed in one way or the other in ramping up public anger much before the protest began. They then intensified the incitement of people in multiple folds in the early days of the protest, such that their actions can be directly linked to the outbreak of violence. They sustained this incitement until it became clear that the violence, arson, and looting of government and private property was getting out of hand. It was observed that some of these celebrity activists and cloud chasers backed down and sort of distanced themselves from the negative stance they had maintained on the protest, apparently to evade responsibility for the killings and destruction of property that they had triggered. We noted that Chief Femi Falana has been particularly vociferous in inciting people to keep up the protest. This is in spite of the fact that policemen and other law enforcement personnel were being attacked and killed. It is therefore pertinent to hold Femi Falana responsible as the known face and voice of the violent aspect of the protest. We are convinced that he knows more than he is letting on, because he continued to support the protest even when the fugitive leader of the terrorist indigenous people of Biafra, Nnamdi Kanu, was coordinating the mob and identifying where and who to attack. Consequently, we are resolute to make Femi Falana answer. We are resolute to make Femi Falana to answer for his crimes against Nigeria in the course of the protest. This includes incitement of the population against the government. Number two, incitement of the population against public office holders with intent to cause them harm. Number three, maliciously spreading information known to be false with intent to incite violence. Number four, providing propaganda support for terrorist attacks through the aiding of attacks carried out by members of a proscribed terrorist group. Number 5, making of utterances that incited people to kill policemen on legitimate duty. Number 6, making of statements that incited people to kill citizens of Nigeria. Number 7, making of statements that resulted in mobs destroying government-owned assets and private assets. Gentlemen of the press, as a result of Falana incitement with specific reference to the Oyigbo incident, where BRT buses were burnt and several policemen killed, our network has taken the bold decision to drag Falana before the International Criminal Court at The Hague in the course of the next 7 days. We have pulled our facts together as follows. Oyigbo attack summary of incident report. Number of hoodlums arrested, 21. Number of policemen killed, 3. Number of police stations burnt, 3. Number of police stations vandalized, 1. Number of hoodlums killed, 4. Names of policemen killed are as follows. AP number 24152, Inspector Sunday Dubon, APC driver attached to anti-kidnapping unit, killed and burnt to ashes. F number 414018, Sergeant Swawale Honam, attached to 19 PMF on special duty at Oyigbo, killed and burnt to ashes. Number 424944, Sergeant Umuna Uchechukwu, serving in Afan police station. His leg and hand were cut off and burnt to ashes. We shall be tendering this to the International Criminal Court with documentary evidence of Femi Falana involvement in inciting those that carry out this pogrom against law enforcement officers and other innocent Nigerians. We shall also be drawing the attention of the ICC to the fact that Falana ran this campaign of incitement as a family business in which he was actively supported by his son, Falz, Falana, in partnership with the wanted IPOB leader, Nnamdi Kanu. We hereby use this medium to solicit the support of the media, all Nigerians, and the international community to help us in bringing about justice for innocent security operatives that were murdered by these violent protesters. Thank you all.